Someone from Watford Town, jet set in the skies. Passport stamp, got the world in his eyes. Heart of gold, but moody thunders under wraps. Spurs scarf waving, he's got loyalty on top. Sanctuaries where he lights up a cigar. Dreams stretch wide from London to afar. With his humor sharp, he's the star of the scene. In Simo Sanctuary, the vibe stays serene. Works different, a beautiful maze. Observes the crowd, sets the world ablaze. Half witty quips, half soulful strolls. Simo breaks the mold, rhythm in his soul. Sanctuaries where he lights up a cigar. Dreams stretch wide from London to afar. With his humor sharp, he's the star of the scene. In Simo Sanctuary, the vibe stays serene. Mind works different, a beautiful maze. Observes the crowd, sets the world ablaze. Half witty quips, half soulful strolls. Simo breaks the mold, rhythm in his soul. Sanctuaries where he lights up a cigar. Dreams stretch wide from London to afar. With his humor sharp, he's the star of the scene. In Simo Sanctuary, the vibe stays serene. Different, a beautiful maze. Observes the crowd, sets the world ablaze. Half witty quips, half soulful strolls. Simo breaks the mold, rhythm in his soul. Moody days, puffing clouds to the sky. Spurs game on, you hear a cheer or a sigh. Autumn walks the sanctuary in stride. Layers run deep, come take a dive inside. Sanctuaries where he lights up a cigar. Dreams stretch wide from London to afar. With his humor sharp, he's the star of the scene. In Simo Sanctuary, the vibe stays serene. Someone from Watford Town, jet set in the skies. Passport stamp, got the world in his eyes. Heart of gold, but moody thunders under wraps. Spurs scarf waving, he's got loyalty on top. Sanctuaries where he lights up a cigar. Dreams stretch wide from London to afar. With his humor sharp.
Hello, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are in the world, and welcome to this episode on Simo Sanctuary. And yes, those of you that have been following me, I will be doing a roundup of my tour that I was in the US from the 2nd of April to the 13th. So before I get stuck in, I always like to do that. I want to make sure that I greet the chat and address everybody. So here we go. So first off, Magooch Management. Thank you, sir. Thank you for joining us. There he is, my main man, Gerard. Good to see you, sir. Thank you. Hello there, SweetTea. Thank you for coming. As you can see, SweetTea produced that music for me. I will be playing two other pieces of music in this episode that SweetTea has created, halfway in at the end. So I just wanted to make sure that SweetTea gets all the credit for that. Hello there, Cranky. Good to see you. I hope all is well and good with you. Good stuff. Here we go. Hello, Patty. You all right? Good to see you. Patty, just while I've got you there now, if you start typing for me, you should be blue now. I look refreshed. I don't feel it, but thank you anyway. Hello, Patty. As I say, if you start typing now, you'll notice that you should have a wrench. So hopefully I've got that sorted. So have to get my butt up out of my chair. Right, so yeah, first off, I'm just going to go through the timelines. Hello there, Todd Father. Good to see you. Okay, my friend, no problem at all. I'll be going through it. So yeah, obviously there was the build up to it. A lot of you that have been going in Tommy and Team Do's chats and Todd Father's, you'll know that I was going to America. I was quite vocal about it. So on the 2nd of April, took the flight from Gatwick Airport, landed at JFK, New York, and then stayed in Jacksonville. I think it was the Elmhurst Hotel, to near Jackson Heights, beg your pardon, which is over in Queensway. So I spent the night there. It was quite expensive for what it was. One thing I noticed about the area when I was wandering around, those of you that are in the chat, I don't know if that was once an Italian dominated area. Hello, Joe Delamora. Good to see you, my man. Thank you. It's changed. If it's changed that way, but it was quite. There was a lot of like Spanish Mexican around there. I didn't really go out there at night. It was a bit iffy, but nevertheless, I found a lovely place where I got something to eat for breakfast and for dinner as well. It's one of these like little local owned joints. So at that point there, I spent the night there. My next chore was to get myself to LaGuardia Airport. Okay, so what Magoo says, I went to Publix before and don't need to go back for 2 weeks. Okie doke. Good stuff. Then as I say, went to LaGuardia Airport, flew out to Buffalo. Got to Buffalo probably I don't know, about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And then from then on, I then made my way obviously to the place that I was staying at. I think it was the Lenox Hotel, which was on North Street. Had some sort of just chilled out on the move, because at this part of the holiday I was always on the move. It's very hard to get some sort of wind down time. And yeah, at that evening, I met Tindu, and he took me to Lenova's, and we went and we had some wings, the famous buffalo wings, on blue cheese all the way. Some of you may disagree, you might something a bit different, but nevertheless, that's what we did. And so it was planned that day we had co-train that was going to drive all the way up from Boston. He was going to come and meet us. He had his place to stay at, and Todd Father would meet us later on during the day. So I think they picked me up. I don't know if you know what Tindu's like. So those of you that know him, on his timekeeping, if he says meet you at 10 o'clock, he'll turn up at 12, But nevertheless, anyway, they picked me up. I think it was about 10:30. And me, Tindu and co-train, we went to this, it was a Greek restaurant. And I got Tindu might, when he comes up, tell us the name of it. I can't remember what it was off the top of my head. But yeah, it was the food was good and it was reasonably priced. We had steak and these lovely potatoes and eggs. And then at that point on, we headed off to go and pick Todd Father up. So we went and met Todd Father at his, and at that point on, we then proceeded to head towards Niagara Falls. Now I know that some of you, most of you should know what Niagara Falls is. Hello, Tindu, good to see you. Thank you, sir. What I'm going to do as well, just to make sure that I'm on par with everyone, I'm going to put this in the chat. And then I'll just pin that. So when the time's right, so that's pinned up there for anyone who wants to join us. Then we went, as I say, went on to Niagara Falls, took the long drive there. You've got, with Niagara Falls, you can see it from two sides. You can either go from the Canada side, and obviously we were coming from the US side. So anyway, we got there, found somewhere to park. And the weather was nice, considering where they are. It's quite cold quite a lot of the time, as you can appreciate. But the weather was lovely, and it was perfect for going for like a little walk around there. And that's what we did. And I'm now going to show some footage. Here we go.
Well, what's all this shit? like, what's a fucking glacier right there?
Niagara Falls.
It looks weird when it's fucking dirty.
So some interesting facts there. Especially what Todd Father was telling me is that with the Niagara Falls in itself, a lot of what it's used, where it's produced, I think for the kinetic energy, it's for the kinetic energy, and it sort of charges a lot of the power stations, which supplies a lot of electricity to a lot of the East Coast. Oh, it was brilliant. It was really good fun. It was, and we've just taken our time around. The sun was out, but it weren't too hot. It was just nice and warm. You've probably seen from my profile picture on YouTube. I've got me there, and they've got them old fashioned. When you put a quarter in, you can go through the cameras and just check out, obviously, the falls itself. Now, because there was still ice, kinetic or not hydroelectric. Please tell me if I've got it wrong, Joe. But it might be hydroelectric, but nevertheless, it's used to obviously generate the power for those power stations. So I mean, it's just definitely a box ticker. You went to Niagara when you were really young. You don't remember. Well, SweetTea, I believe you're going up the Providence way. There we go. Team who's qualified it. Hydro. Thank you, sir. So yeah, if you get the chance to go up there, SweetTea. Hello, Suzanne. Thank you for coming. Yeah, I definitely recommend it. And now I just want to spend. I've got another video as well, so let's check. There we have it, folks. Niagara Falls.
So James, we used to be able to get closer here.
Yeah. Nice, lovely weather. There you go. There is Toronto.
But no, literally.
Yeah, so I'm just going to go through some of these now. Joe, yeah, they use the force of the water to drive the turbines. Excellent. Cranky, I definitely recommend it if you can get up there for summer 2026. Someone correct me, but does the water not feed in from the Atlantic? The sound of rushing water is so loud, but not louder than Todd Father. Yeah, so that was a real good day there, a real good thing to see. Really enjoyed it with the guys as well, meeting up with the guys. We then went on to a restaurant called Joe's. There's some good food there. Just relaxed and chilled out. And at that point, because of obviously the time difference that I was on, I had to then make myself, I had to go to bed. I was in bed at like 7 o'clock. That's right, Gerard, the Great Lakes system. There you go, Gerard. Joe Delamoro's got the answer there for you. So yeah, we had some good food. I think myself, Co-Train, and Todd. Here we go. Hello, team, dude.
Hey, buddy. What's going down?
Yeah, I'm just with the crowd, just talking to them really about if there's any more information now that you would be able to add, because I know a lot of them are asking questions around how Niagara powers the power stations to power the East Coast.
Yeah, it powers like 3/4 of the East Coast over here in Niagara Falls.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, it powers everything.
I'm assuming it probably does Canada's side as well, doesn't it?
Yes, like we were telling you, you shut that off. There's going to be a lot of people in trouble.
Yeah, that's. I think someone mentioned if there's a war, that's the first place you would target.
Yes, exactly. So it's sad but true, you know.
Yeah. Oh, I just well, it was just a real good day. I know that everyone was sort of chilled out and
Yes, I
really,
mean we had a beautiful day. It was nice and sunny. I mean, warm that day. And like I said before, you got to go to Niagara Falls with people you want to go there with.
yeah.
Have fun, show them, you know, talk. I mean, that's the best thing to do.
I think that's what helped me having you guys, because if I was kind of there, I would have just gone, oh, well, it's just like you know, a really large waterfall. And but
Right.
then
Well,
when I've got the history being pumped into my heroes, and everyone's telling me, oh, and then you start realise actually, this is how good that feature is, you know.
right, right. Well, like Marie was telling you, there's nothing better than when you get somewhere and you have your own people to show you around and tell you. I mean, you can't beat that.
Exactly.
Yup, they're very important
And what
because
was the
they
name?
bring you right to the focus points of everything.
Exactly. No, well, what was the name of that Greek restaurant as well that we went to? That was real nice.
Mythos. That was Mythos.
Mythos.
Mytho.
Right. Okay.
Yes, that's a great breakfast place
That was
in
nice.
the city.
That was good
Yep.
because we had a bit of food there, and then we went and picked Toddfather up, didn't we? So
Yes. Yes. So we kept our food level good that day.
yeah.
Yep.
But then
But
obviously after we went to that Joe's restaurant. I think what did you had? You had that lamb. Was it lamb? Wasn't it? That was like that was
no,
lovely.
I had the pot roast.
That's right.
Yes, I couldn't resist the pot roast.
Definitely. And we all had fish, and it
Yes,
was
you guys had the fish.
and
And
it was a real good day. But because of the obviously the time difference and me with my body clock being out, I was kind of real sort of like petered out. So I was after dinner, I just wanted to go to bed. I think you did the same.
yeah, I did the same thing, brother. Are you kidding me? I was exhausted because we did it perfect. We didn't go out there hungry and starving. You know, we ate good. We went out. We got our exercise. Then we went out again to eat, and then me and you know, pooped out, went to bed, and it
Yeah,
was a great day. Yep.
no, absolutely. Likewise, and then the next day, unfortunately, I wish I had a little bit more time. I spent maybe another day or so there, but that
Right.
day I went. We went and had something to eat again. Yeah, we did. We went and had a bit of sushi, didn't we?
Yes, we went to the sushi place that day, Saturday.
Yeah, that's right. And we had some real good dishes there. So that was
Yes.
nice.
Yeah,
Some
that
of
was
the
very good.
some of them sushi dishes I haven't had before, so that was new to taste my palate with. So I
Right.
appreciate
Yeah.
that. And then obviously from there on, we did try checking out that Buffalo shop. I couldn't get Buffalo Bills shirt. And I was to say I'm from the UK, but the Buffalo Bills now are my American football team now.
Yep.
I will
We'll
follow.
get you a jersey. We'll get you a jersey. Nice one. I can't believe they didn't even have one there. I was, oh, yeah.
Season had just been wrapped up. They're probably getting the new kit out, aren't they? So
Yeah.
still yet to be
Yep.
published.
Yep. But
So
it
yeah,
was nice. It's a nice store. It was a nice store. A
absolutely.
lot of people go there. A lot of out of town people. They drive right there.
Yeah, that was real good because then you guys went and had dinner later. You, Todd, Father, and Co-Train. You went somewhere. Did you have pizza or wings or something?
Yes, we stopped for chicken wings. Rookies. It was Rookies.
Yeah,
We stopped and yeah, that was fun. That was fun.
good stuff.
Yeah, yeah, me and Coach Train went to the mall. We were like two kids before we picked up Todd Father. No,
That's
that
what you
was
said.
fun.
You couldn't remember the last time you went shopping for yourself.
Yeah, I mean, all of a sudden we're driving. Todd Father needed some time. We were right near we dropped you off the airport and the mall was right there. I'm like, yo, pull over at the mall. Let's go.
Yeah.
So it was perfect. Perfect. We had our exercise. We walked the whole mall. We shopped. And then we went and picked up Todd Father.
Yeah. Good stuff.
Yeah. Yep. That's important too. Keeping busy. You keep busy and you just keep going.
Yeah. No, absolutely. So, yeah, just to say, it would have been. I think I did the main features in Buffalo anyway, but I've got to get myself to watch an NFL game. I think it's only right. Try and understand the rules.
Oh, you'll get them. They're not hard. You'll get them. You'll have fun watching it. It's nothing but aggravation and nervousness watching those, especially when you get your team to pull for and you get the close games, you get those kind of games. It is exciting, it's so exciting to watch.
Yeah.
So, especially if you're a sports fan.
Absolutely. Good.
Hello, everybody. Hello, everyone in the chat. SweetTea, Susan, Joe Della.
What do you reckon on that bit of music SweetTea did for me?
Nice. I like it.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, very nice. Good stuff. Yeah, they can't copy strike you on that one because it's yours.
Well, this is what we got to do now, Otherwise, don't want them striking us, or especially in your case, trying to demonetize you.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they realize how important music is, and and a lot of us, we love music, so we'd love to, interact it in our platform.
Yeah, and it's just, as you say, it's just an excuse for them to actually not want to pay out. You heard on your show where Tommy was mentioning about the podcast that he was going on. She had 60,000, and they found out the slightest reason.
Yep. That's all they do. It doesn't matter who you are.
Yeah.
Not on here. They don't care. All right, my man, I'm going to let you go. I got to go shopping and get a couple things done. I wanted to stop up and say hello and share our story.
No, absolutely. I appreciate that. Appreciate your input. Thank you.
No, anytime, my friend, anytime. And have a good Easter, and I'll be talking to you soon.
Yeah, you too. Happy Easter to you. Do have a good one. Thank you.
All right, James, and thanks for everything, Goomba. Be good.
Cheers, my friend. Thank you.
All right.
Right. So, yeah, I had 2 nights in Buffalo, and then I had to fly back into JFK. So I flew back into JFK, and at that point, I had to battle my way over to Newark. I know that Tommy did say to me, "Why didn't you just fly straight to Newark?" But obviously, that's just me being from another country and not using my louse to obviously navigate myself properly. So that point on, I had to go over to Newark. So I went to Penn Station in New York to Newark and got myself to the Robert Treat, and I stayed there in Newark. What's my thoughts on Newark? It's a bit of a dodgy area, if I'll be honest. There's sorts of parts you wouldn't want to go because there's a good chance you'd get robbed. But the part where I was staying at was good. And I arranged with Tommy, and he was going to pick me up on the Sunday. He picked me up at, I think it was about 10 to 9. And as I've told you before, there was a girl I was talking to in the reception area before he came. And we got talking, and she was over there for a concert. And I said to her, "Well, actually, I'm part of a YouTube community." And she said, "Oh, right, what's that?" I said, Tommy Stick Social Club. And she was typing STICKS. Sure. And anyway, I corrected her, and she recognised Tommy and said that her dad followed her. She mentioned Tommy and another coffee place or coffee channel that he goes to. And she wanted a selfie when he came. So he got a selfie with her. And then at that point on, we got in the car. Here we go. You don't go to visit Newark, you fly there and travel to where you want to go. Oh, absolutely. It does. There's part, honestly, Canning Town's not that bad now that they've cleaned it up, Joe. They've started to do some new builds and all that around there. Yeah, so that point on, Tommy was then taking me on my tour. We were driving, as I say, over the bridge where the Sopranos is, and we were pointing out bits of scenes of where certain bits of the series was filmed. And we then went to the Hudson River. As some of you joined us on our walk, it was a lot colder there than it was in Buffalo. I can tell you that for nothing. We got there and I had my my little walk. There we have it, folks. On the Hudson River. And down there, as you can see, is the Brooklyn end. I'm standing here on New Jersey Bank. That's the city, Manhattan, all of the west side. See, weather's not the greatest, but got low clouds. But as you go up there, you can see sort of West Harlem up there. Yep, you did it, guessed it. We could hear Tommy in the background there. So did I walk, and then at that point we went up to the pit, sort of where a pier was. Went back. We then went in the car. We was meant to be going to the Saint Basilia of Sacred Heart. I think I pronounced that wrong, but it's the church where Tommy always goes. He took me on a tour. He said, but we'll go into the city. So he drove into New York City. There was no traffic in the way. The only thing that was stressing Tommy out was the delivery bikes that keep flying out in front of you. So you can imagine, you know what he gets like. He gets very uppity as well. So that was kind of niggling at him. But it was all good. We were manoeuvring through the city, and he tried to find a place to park. But for whatever reason, we don't have this problem in Britain, but you seem to have there's fire hydrants everywhere, and you can't park in front of them. So he took me down to Mulberry Street. As we went up to Mulberry Street, as he was explaining, the demographics have changed. It's not as Italian as it used to be. Well, from then on, he then took me to where the Ravenite used to be. Oh, absolutely, Gerard. So I went to where the Ravenite was. I played that video in a previous live, so it was kind of nice to see where it was. But where the black Lincoln pulls outside. But we went there and said, okay, right, let's move on. And Tommy took me to I think St. Lucy's Church. I think I mentioned that before. And we were heading there, and it was a bit of a heartfelt moment because obviously he was showing me where his mum grew up, and he's mentioned the history with the church and his mother, and so it was a little bit of one of those sort of heartwarming moments. So we got to the church, and we were sort of on the grounds, and I've mentioned before as well that the churches there are nothing like compared to the churches here. It's a lot bigger to do. Certainly the Catholic ones, anyway. SweetTea. I drove a few co-workers from New Jersey to the Bronx. They were impressed with my driving skills, but only a little bit frightened. So we got into the church. It was quite. You've got the grounds, and you've got like this arch, and there's like the tribute to Saint Gerard, and there's all these plaques on the floor. Do you know what, Magoosh? I wish I need to get out and watch a game. I haven't seen no American sports. I will do though. That's the beauty of having someone who knows the area and its history. Absolutely. So we went to this church, as I say, was on the grounds, and know what Tommy's like. Well, the mass was already in. It was already, it unfolded. We were well into it. Of course, when you go into the church and you can't, if you're late for mass, you kind of just go into the church, sneak, and just sit on the back bench, just not trying to draw too much attention to yourself. But no, as Tommy went in there, it was like frog marching through. Of course, they were all looking at us, but it was all good. It was funny. He then took and showed me around, and I've got a couple of clips, and I know I want to play this one again. Okay.
In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. The grace of the Lord Jesus Christ, the love of God.
That was the stained glass window donated to the church by Richie the Boot. Whilst we were always in there as well, I've never seen a church with a gift shop, but there was at a gift shop selling crucifix, rosary beads, statues of Mary. It was quite something. It's quite taken back by it all. But they also had some of the artwork, like the paintings of St. Gerard. Look at the architecture. Yeah, so we went to St. Lucy's. Then after that, see, Tommy was explaining with the history around the church and how a lot of the area had been transformed and new housing projects have come along and moved a lot of the old Italian neighbourhoods out. That I don't know, Joe. There's a good possibility Tommy would be the man to answer that question, because it was where it's situated. It used to be an all Italian community around there, but as things have changed now and demographics have changed, it's not so. But the church would have been the heart of that community, so there's a good chance. As I say, Tommy's the man to speak for that. Want to see that big church when I drive back to New York? Yeah, absolutely, Magooch. Go there, as well. It's probably good if you've got time. Hook up with Tommy. That'll be good. Good to see the pair of you there, So, see, we went round, and then from then on, we went and had something to eat at Calandra's Mediterranean Grill. Some good food there: pizza, mussels. Tommy had a portobello sandwich. Yeah, it was good drink and good food. Then from then on, that was when we then made further railroads, and we went into Livingston, which is the upper class areas of New Jersey. And from there, we went out and checked out Richie the Boot's old place. I've got an idea they did, but I'm not sure if Tommy mentioned that yet. So, yeah, so went there, checked out Richie the Boot's old place, and then went further on to Caldwell, which is where obviously the Tony Soprano's house is. So before we stopped there, he said that was Uncle Junior's place where they filmed that, and then we went on to the main house itself. So I had a good action-packed day. We probably, as I say, it's probably from about 9 till 5. Then just got back to the hotel and just literally just chilled out. Then from there on, the next day after that, that was when I had to move over to the west of Manhattan. I was up by 79th. So I literally, yet again, got the train back, worked my way all the way up there, and it was a bit like, okay, what should we do? What we're going to do tomorrow? I could go to Central Park. It was right at my doorstep. But I've been to Central Park, and I went to New York during the winter time, at Christmas time. And Central Park is a lot better when it's when the snow's out and it's got that Christmas theme to it. So we did that, and I said, well, do you know what? I'm not going to do that. I went, whilst after coming off one of Tommy's lives, I said, okay, right, I'm booking some coach tickets. And I said, I want to go to Philadelphia. And I went and got booked the coach. I think it was for, what time did I do it? I think it was about 9 o'clock. So I got up really early onto the metro, under the subway, and then started making my way towards Philadelphia. Here we go. Now, I would like to have met you, James, but I feel awkward meeting up with only men. If a couple of ladies came, we would have had a Walmart or a coffee. No, understand, Suzanne, no dramas. So I got a coach. Yeah, you normally, it's the heart of it. It's the best part if you're going to New York, around Central Park. But yeah, like Manhattan, it's very touristy. So it was a 2-hour coach ride from Midtown. So that's where I had the picture you've probably seen in the where I was outside Madison Square Garden. Got the coach there. It was 2 hours up to, and it dropped us off at China. I think it was Spring Garden Street. It was called China Garden Street in Philadelphia. So I got there, but that was kind of at the north end of the city. And I said, you know what? Whilst I come here, I've got to go and visit Skinny Joey's cheesesteak place. So I then caught a cab down to South Philly. I tip my hat to you. I can't say I would go to another country and did all what you did. No, I did get quite a lot done, thankfully. So I went to Skinny Joey's cheesesteak. Had to queue, but it weren't massive amounts. So it was about 40 minutes. The guy, Joey and all them they were there and stuff, but they were out the back. See, they've been run off their feet because they've got a lot of business at the moment, and it's in its infancy. So what did I have? I just had the standard cheesesteak. They mentioned the different types of cheeses. And the woman from behind the counter said, "You're not from round here, are you?" And I said, "No, it just surprised me." So I didn't know what cheese they put it in with it. Some onion rings and a soda. I had something. It was nice, it was reasonably priced. I think it was about $16 for the cheesesteak. The sodas were I think it's $4, and I wasn't sure what the onion rings were. It might have been $6 or $8. I can't remember. But it was reasonably priced, and the food was lovely, and they got a good vibe there. That's one thing you know about that part of South Philly is that they are quite a community down there. So there was a good vibe about that. I was chatting to someone in the queue, and he was telling me like Camden and I think Kensington, stay away from those places. And I said, but I weren't up there too long, so I said, do you know what? I'm getting the coach back. I got an Uber. I said, right, could you take me up? And I went up to go and see the Rocky statue. So I wanted to obviously get there to the Rocky statue first off, and I had a little drive tour, and just wanted, this was. I tip my hat to you. I can't say I'll go to another country and do what you did. There are two good shows about Philly. One, It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, and the other is Abbott Elementary. I have to try and check those out, I think. So I went to the Rocky statue, and then I got my Uber back to where my coach was picking me up. So I mean, I'm glad I got a feel for Philadelphia anyway. Obviously, I need to go back and have a week in there and go out and about in it. But it was, it was good. It was a good experience. It's the first time I've been to Pennsylvania, so I enjoyed that. So obviously, now I just want to take this opportunity because I want to play the music that SweetTea's done. She's done a great job, and this is the second bit. And I'll use this chance for you guys to have a chat, have a talk to each other in the chat, maybe think of some questions, and I will play this bit of music for you.
Simmer from Watford town, jets are in the skies. Passport stamp, got the world in his eyes. Heart of gold, but moody thunders under wraps. Spurs scarf waving, he's got loyalty on tap. Sanctuaries where he lights up a cigar. Dreams stretch wide from London to afar. With his human sharp, he's the star of the scene. In Simmer sanctuary, the vibe stays serene. Mind works different, a beautiful maze. Observes the crowd, sets the world ablaze. Half witty quips, half soulful strolls. Simmer breaks the mold, rhythm in his soul. Sanctuaries where he lights up a cigar. Dreams stretch wide from London to afar. With his humor sharp, he's the star of the scene. In Simmer sanctuary, the vibe stays serene. On a moody day, he's puffing clouds to the sky. Spurs game on, you hear him cheer or sigh. Autumn walks the sanctuary in stride. Players run deep, come take a dive inside. Sanctuaries where he lights up a cigar. Dreams stretch wide from London to afar. With his humor sharp, he's the star of the scene. In Simmer sanctuary, the vibe stays serene. Mind works different, a beautiful maze. Observes the crowd, sets the world ablaze. Half witty quips, half soulful strolls. Simmer breaks the mold, rhythm in his soul. Sanctuaries where he lights up a cigar. Dreams stretch wide from London to afar. With his humor sharp, he's the star of the scene. In Simmer sanctuary, the vibe stays serene. Mind works different, a beautiful maze. Observes the crowd, sets the world ablaze. Half witty quips, half soulful strolls. Simmer breaks the mold, rhythm in his soul. Sanctuaries where he lights up a cigar. Dreams stretch wide from London to afar. With his humor sharp, he's the star of the scene. In Simmer sanctuary, the vibe stays serene. On a moody day, he's puffing clouds to the sky. Spurs game on, you hear him cheer or sigh. Autumn walks the sanctuary in stride. Players run deep, come take a dive inside. Sanctuaries where he lights up a cigar. Dreams stretch wide from London to afar. With his humor sharp, he's the star of the scene. In Simmer sanctuary, the vibe stays serene.
Hello, everyone. I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you, SweetTea. Right, let me just go through because I see some comments have piled up. Okay, so when I said, coach bus, the reason why I call it a coach is because it had a toilet on it. Believe it or not, buses in England, they generally don't have toilets on them. Okay, I've been to both of them, Joe. Definitely recommend. Hello, Crewmel. Thank you for coming, sir. Hope all is well and good with you. What else have we got here? Yeah, thank you, Team Dudes. Smash the like button. Okay. Yes, we go. They're talking amongst themselves. Good stuff. Hello there, Dave T. Good to see you. Out on the bike run with my buddies. See you all. I wanted to say hi. Check out the pictures, videos later, pal. Be good. Thank you, Dave T. Good man. Good to see you. Okay, right. So after Philadelphia, I'm back in my place in Manhattan. I know tomorrow I've got to fly out to Jacksonville. Now this is the part where I can get a bit of vitamin D out in the sun and just chill out then, which is what I really wanted to do, So got myself to Jacksonville, and what to say? I forgot. It was only a 2-hour flight. Flew there from LaGuardia Airport, got to Jacksonville, and then sort of checked into my hotel. Well, you wouldn't believe it when I got to my hotel. It was a bit scary, really. I've only just gone out to the back of my hotel to have a vape, and look what's out here. Look at the back. Don't move. Any sudden movements, they'll have me. Yeah, so Jacksonville. What do we know about Jacksonville? I won't bore you to death to it, but I like to obviously give some somewhat facts that I know about it. I didn't do this with New York and Philadelphia because obviously you all know it, but Jacksonville itself, it was founded in June 15, 1822, and there was only 15 people living in the town city limits. At the time of Jacksonville's founding, the town was located in St. Johns County. In fact, the only other county in Florida at the time was Escambia. And after a month after the town's founding, Duval County was established. So, although you've got Andrew Jackson, and although the city is named after him, apparently Andrew Jackson never stepped foot in Jacksonville. And he was a military hero at the time for the first American governor of Florida. And his presidency was in the future. It's actually what acknowledged founder was Isaiah David Hart, and was known to take part in some cattle maundering along the Florida-Georgia border in the early years. Later on, Hart brought $72 worth of cattle to the Calford and Narrow Point in the St. Johns River, where cattlemen would transport their livestock. Hart then founded the town of Jacksonville. Wow. Right, let's check out the comments. Yeah, so you guessed it. I basically, on my first day there, I took that. It was at the zoo. I went to Jacksonville Zoo. I've been to San Diego Zoo, and that's one of the best in America. I believe the one in Nebraska is the biggest. But I like going there. I like being around the animals. I like animals. Sorry, fellow human beings, but as I say, if you want loyalty, get a dog. And I just like having nature around me. So went to Jacksonville Zoo. That was up in the north in the city. I stayed in Deerwood, which is sort of like southwest. So visited it up there, and it was quite good. Just nice being out. Sort of. I don't stand around pubs and bars anymore. I literally like to do things now. I feel more happier in myself when I'm sort of doing things that I feel more productive and more educational. So, there were some real good things, and one of the best things as well was is when you actually get to interact with the animals. And here's where I had this opportunity. Folks, here it goes. It's got another spare bit there. Is there another bit so I could feed him?
Yeah, you will.
Cool, thank you. There we go. Right. Yeah. So it was good. Here we go. There's a two-way petting zoo. You can pet them as they pet you. Okay. Yeah. Well, it was nice. So I was trying. I have got a one of where you can actually go in and you can stroke the stingrays. There's a video there, but I haven't uploaded it. I should have done really, but I've got me doing that, which was good. So there was also, it was just, look, we've all been to the zoo, I know it, but for me, I just like doing those sort of things. It was a good day out.
Yeah, you've guessed it. An African elephant in Jacksonville. And there's the other one over there. Dousing himself in sand by the looks of it.
Yeah. So as some good times that day. Got back, just chilled out at my hotel. There was I think it was the day after my birthday. So yeah, I was there. Obviously from the zoo. I was planning the next day. The next day I was going to visit St. Augustine, which is down on the coastline. Not too far. It's probably about a 50-minute drive from Jacksonville. So St. Augustine, what do we know that? The fun facts. Well, it's located on the west shore of Matanzas Bay, the Castillo de San Marcos, which is simply known as the fort. It's the oldest masonry fort in the continental United States. It's the famous Bridge of Lions, a double-leaf Basque bridge that spans the intra-coastal waterway connecting Anastasia Island to downtown. It's a popular tourist destination. The Lightning Museum is housed in the former health facilities of the Hotel Alcazar, including the spa and Turkish bath. There's the original Ripley's Believe It or Not Museum in St. Augustine. It's 20,000 square feet and features 19 themed galleries. You've got the Ponce de Leon's Fountain of Youth, has guest books stretching back to as far as 1868. And also we had the St. Augustine's Distillery, which handcrafts small batch rum, vodka and gin, and is home to Florida's largest large format bourbon, currently aging in oak barrels. So I do obviously have some clips as well from when I was at St. Augustine's. So, but first off, then I then sort of moved out and had a little look around the town.
There we go, folks. April 11, 2025. A little walk through the historic part of St. Augustine. A little look around. As I say, it's got the old Spanish feel to it. Oh. Dr. Beck House, Dr. Peck. The stone walls of this building date from before 1750 and are part of a house owned by the royal treasurer. Late in the first Spanish period, during the British period, it served for a time as the home of Governor John Moultrie. In 1837, Dr. Seth S. Peck purchased the house and rebuilt it using the old walls and adding the frame. Second story remained in the Peck family until willed to the city in 1931.
Okay, so we've got Patty. She said, James, we'd love to have a tour of historical England next. I saw a show about Henry VIII and the Tower of London and wanted to learn from someone who lives there. I know I will do that. I will do the Tower of London. I'll do a few bits. I mean, London in itself, I could probably do several shows out of, but there's history all up and down the country in England, Scotland and Wales. So yeah, I will do that in the future. Absolutely. Okay, Joe Delamora. It's got a colonial feel to it. Very interesting place. Yeah, it has, Joe, and I've got another clip as well, just to show you how where it's got that from the Spanish settlers, which I think was in the mid 1500s. They settled there and they started to build.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. April the 11th, 2025. Here I am. That's right, by St Augustine's Old Town. What you're seeing there in front of me is a few of the older style buildings. You can see there, and in front of me there now is the college. It's very unique. Sort of got a somewhat of a Spanish feel to the buildings, like Mexico. Yeah, just say thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, I had a little walk around. They've got certainly around St Augustine. They've got the old feel to it. I believe that during the spring break, it gets very packed down there, and they've got lots of bars and restaurants. Yeah, I could see the Spanish style. It's also could tell it's definitely Florida. Yeah, beautiful weather and down there. That was one thing that I was glad to get down there for. So yeah, I was at St Augustine's. Did that trip that day. Where else? I then in Jacksonville. Then went in to Jacksonville itself. I went up, and the weather was really good. Looks like a lot of buildings in Cape Canaveral where I stopped on a cruise. Yeah. See, Cape Canaveral's not that far away from it. So I then, as I say, went to Jacksonville for the day. I went down there, and went into a cigar lounge. Island Cigars is called, and they had a nice big cigar room, a wide range. They had all different makes there. I noticed they had the champagne ones there as well. Right.
There we go, folks. April 12, 2025, Jacksonville. Here we are. And as you can see, this place loves a bridge. Yep. And the sun is absolutely blinding. Thank you for joining me.
Yeah, I went to this place for a bit of food, and it was quite strange, weird. And they had just like, I didn't go for it, but they had like this rose pink lemonade, and it had THC in it. I was like, no, I'm not having that. They've even put it in the lemonade now. I didn't think they would do that, but yeah, Florida still is quite strict anyway, because even with their marijuana laws, at the moment, they can only use it for medical purposes. Yeah, so from then on, the next day, I was going to be flying out. Well, actually, I weren't flying out. I was meant to be catching the Amtrak down to Orlando, but I had to go. I'm a bit disorganized sometimes when it comes to packing things, and I packed a bit light. So I had to go out in St. John's Town Centre where I stayed, not far from there. I got caught in a thunderstorm. Believe it or not, I had something to eat, got a few bits of clothes, and then bolts of lightning everywhere, and it's just started chucking it down. So anyway, thankfully got back to my place, and the Amtrak, I kept getting emails saying that they were going to cancel. Then it's on, my train was on, then it was off, then it was on, then it was off. And I said, right, I'm not doing that. I went, and in the morning, I went and got an Uber from where I was in Deerwood down to my place in Orlando downtown. And to be fair, for $110, that weren't bad at all. So I got down to Orlando. I know some of you followed me on my live. When I got there, paid for an early check-in. I said, right, I need to do something. It was a toss-up between SeaWorld or the Kennedy Space Center at Cape Canaveral. And I said, well, do you know what? I was hoping that they weren't going to be overcrowded with kids at the Space Center. But I was glad I went to Kennedy Space Center, but I probably actually wished now that I went to the SeaWorld. But As you say, I went down there, and it was quite interesting. Yeah, it was worth it in the end, because at least I could just get my bags in there. I had the space to myself, and the Uber driver was quite cool. He let me vape in there, so I can't complain. And got to the Space Centre at Cape Canaveral, and got in there. It was interesting, as in reading about the different rockets and the space shuttle launches, but it got quite a bit boring and monotonous after a while. And I did get caught in the sun actually trying to get an Uber ride back from there. But yeah, it was all good. I'm glad I did it in the end, and I really enjoyed it, because obviously the following day I was due to fly home. So on that note, I can't fault the holiday. I had people showing me around when I was up near the north part of the East Coast, I've just been through, and I got to just chill out and saw a bit down of North Central Florida. So I just really want to give that chance to say thank you to everyone for coming to and joining me on this live. Whilst those of you that are still in the chat, I have pinned the link on there. Does anyone want to either ask me questions in the chat, or would anyone? Hello, Maureen. Thank you for coming. Or would anyone like to come up on the panel and ask me a few questions? Absolutely. No, I did. I really enjoyed it. It was really good. Thank you, SweetTea. Okay. So, anyone fancy it or not? No? There we go. Okay. Well, I suppose then, if there's not anyone that has any questions, there we go. Maureen's just saying hello. Then I'm going to take this opportunity to play the last piece of music that SweetTea created for me. I'll appreciate your feedback. I've obviously got through. Oh, Suzanne, they need to connect their mic and cam before you can add them to the stream. Okay, Suzanne, you need to connect your mic and cam. That's the note that I'm getting before I can properly add you on. There we go. I just want to give Suzanne a chance to try and connect. Let me try. I don't want to. She's trying to. Okay, right. All right. Let me just. Right. I'm just gonna, Suzanne. I just kicked you off so you can try and join back. Here we go. Right. Hello.
Oh, hello.
Suzanne.
Can you hear me, James?
I can hear you. Yeah.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, I just wanted to say hello.
Thank you. Hello to you too.
Yeah,
Thank you for coming up.
Yeah. So I just wanted to say hello. It's been a long time since I was on,
That's right. I think it was New Year's Eve you were last on mine.
Oh, was it New Year's Eve?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a really long time ago then. I didn't realize it was that long. Yeah. So anyway, I'm just out in the yard now, and it's really windy, so there's a lot of background noise, right?
Yeah.
But I just wanted to say, yeah, it was very nice, like all the videos and everything from the trip. And that's good that you had a nice trip and, you had a safe trip, because there's a lot of things, now going around like all over the place, right? So you have to be very careful.
That's right. Yeah. You've got to navigate yourself properly and use your loaf.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But anyway, so that's good news. And yeah, I just wanted to say hello, and that's about all I wanted to do. But yeah, so like I was saying, like when you came down, like I wanted to, if there was, I don't feel comfortable meeting up with guys, okay? And it's not anything against you or anything like that. It's just that's just not my way, my character.
No, that's fine.
Yeah.
It was, as I say, there was a group of us anyway that we're all on here. But I understand, and a lot of women don't. They'd rather have some other females in the group. I appreciate that.
Myself, I'm not a person from to begin with likes a lot of people around me. Like I'm very, I don't feel comfortable with people around me in general. I'm just like that.
Yeah.
But if there's a lot of people, I get more nervous and stuff, just the way I've always been. So, but like, yeah, if it was like, you know, in Walmart or something like that, like maybe, or like a coffee shop, and there was like, you know, even one or two women, right? Then it would be okay. So I just don't
I understand.
Negative way, right? So, yeah. So I just wanted to tell you, yeah. So that's good that you are back safe and everything like that, and you came at a pretty good time. It wasn't very hot or cold or anything. Like it was.
The weather was fine. New York was probably the coldest out of a lot of them.
Yeah, because see where we are, like in Buffalo, Niagara, it's like the temperature goes up and down. Like you just don't know what's going to happen. Like actually, in general, winter is cold, obviously, but you know you have days that are warmer than others, and then all of a sudden it's cold. Like this time of year, especially like March, April, May, you don't know what to expect day to day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, if you could also be cold and also be warm, and you just don't know what's going to happen, right? So you kind of take your chances, right? But obviously, after now, like there's no snow, right? I mean, the snow is gone, so.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So anyway, that's all I wanted to say, and have a good day and everything, and that's basically.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Thank you for coming.
Okay, thanks for having me too.
Brilliant. Thank you, Suzanne.
Have a great day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Right. So I just want to thank everyone that's joined me today in the chat. Gerard, Maguchi Management, Patty, Todd Father, Cranky, SweetTea, Joe Delamora, Tindu, Dave T, Krumel. Who else? Haven't missed anyone. Suzanne, of course. Okay, let's go through. Maureen. Yeah, Maureen. I've got that. Let's keep going. Thank you, Todd Father. I appreciate that. I've enjoyed it. I just wanted to obviously get it all wrapped up. So obviously, on that note, what I'll do now is I'm going to play as the outro, the third song that SweetTea made it. I'd like some feedback as well, if you can, please, guys, of which one you prefer, because whatever, I want to be able to pick one and just go forward with it. So thank you on that note. So I'm just going to play that now. Thank you, everyone. Here we go.
Racing with the golden line. James walks with purpose, leaving nothing behind. Cigar smoke trails as he charts his day. Big moody at times, but he shines anyway. Simo sanctuary, a world so wide. Traveling through life with his heart as a guide. Spurs on his sleeve, humor right on cue. Breaking down walls as he sees things true. Planes and trains, they call his name. Maps and destinations, fueling his flame. Dressed to impress with a clever disguise. Behind the humor are curious eyes. Simo sanctuary, a world so wide. Traveling through life with his heart as a guide. Spurs on his sleeve, humor right on cue. Breaking down walls as he sees things so true. Planes and trains, they call his name. Maps and destinations, fueling his flame. Dressed to impress with a clever disguise. Behind the humor are curious eyes. Planes and trains, they call his name. Maps and destinations. destinations, fueling his flame. Dressed to impress with a clever disguise. Behind the humor are curious eyes. Civil sanctuary, a haven for dreams. Life in full color, brave, you know his schemes. Was with pride, burning strong in his core. The world's his canvas, he's searching for more. Cigar in hand, he contemplates the stars. Moody reflections beat soft through the scars. Laughing off the way as he lights his way. The spurs chants echo, reminding to stay. Civil sanctuary, a world so wide. Traveling through life with his heart as a guide. As a guide. Spurs on his sleeve, humor right on cue. What out, yo, breaking down walls as he sees things true. Planes and trains, they call his name. Maps and destinations, fueling his flame. Dressed to impress with a clever disguise. Behind the humor, curious. I'm racing with the golden line. James walks with purpose, leaving nothing behind. Cigar smoke trails